What is one's image of the typical American family? One whose sons and daughters are well-mannered and disciplined by their parents? One who is very religious and never dives into the devious temptations such as smoking, drinking, and gambling? We see these families as the ideological symbol of the American dream. Those families seem to have it all. Everything is perfect and is going great. Can there really be that perfect family? No. No life is perfect. Everything has its good parts and bad parts. Even though things may seem to be going great, a whole separate world could be growing in one part of the family that no one would be able to recognize. Where does something wrong and negative happen when one family is very similar to that perfect American family? Take the notorious serial killer Ted Bundy, for example. He talks of how growing up, his life was nearly perfect. He is described by many as handsome, self-assured, and charming. He had a potential in politics, a passion for psychology. He is also one of the most prolific serial killers in history. With his chameleon-like ability to blend in, he posed an ever-present danger to the pretty, dark-haired women he selected as his victims. He would gain their trust by faking an injury with his arm in a fake cast or a sling. He would at times act as a policeman or fire department personnel after luring victims to his car. He would hit them on the head with a crowbar. He then raped and assaulted them sexually before strangling and mutilating them. He has confessed to over 40 rapings and killings and is now awaiting his death by electric chair. This Sunday's edition of 16 Minutes with our very own Rachel Renna sits down with one of the most infamous serial killers in American history, Ted Bundy.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How was your ride over here?
It was long. Would have been better if these things weren't here. Just driven in late Christmas night, which wasn't my ideal present. How was your holidays?
They were very well. I saw my family and everything. Did anyone visit you?
Yes, actually my good friend did back from college. I was very surprised, but also excited.
That's good. No family members? Are you close with your mom and dad?
No, not at all.
Tell me about that. What was your relationship like with your parents?
Well, I grew up in a very nice household. Two great parents. Very strict and religious. They instilled good morals in me. But I also grew up thinking these two people were my parents for 15 years of my life. And then found out they were actually my grandparents, and that my mom was really my sister. So after that, I didn't have or want any kind of relationship or contact with them at all.
That must have been hard. Was that hard on you?
Yeah, it was extremely difficult.
Were there any other obstacles you faced growing up? I was wondering about your high school relationships. Did you have a girlfriend?
Yes, actually, for a long time. We were engaged at one point.
In your own words, what happened? Because there was so much speculation about it.
Well, she decided she wasn't ready to make the commitment, and she backed out. It was really difficult for me.
So, would you say that you were heartbroken?
Yes, I would say that.
Many people studying your case believe that this relationship is what started your killings.
My killings?
Yes. Do you agree with that?
No, it has absolutely nothing to do with that.
Well, many sort of put the pictures together of the woman you killed, and they look almost completely identical. Brown hair, parted down the middle, pretty, young.
My victims had no relation to her. Nothing at all. None whatsoever. It wasn't what started this.
What did then? What started your killings?
Porn.
It made me feel real. It lit up my world. I became addicted, fascinated, it consumed me. It was an addiction I needed to feed. Like an addiction I kept craving. Something more explicit, something harder and harder. Something with more excitement.
So you began to kill. Did you plan on killing these girls? What did you do to them?
You know what I did then. The whole world knows what I did. I'm Ted Bundy.
Your first murder was at 14. You were 14 years old.
Yeah, I was young.
What did you do to her?
Same as the rest of the girls.
I would lure them in. It was easy. Too easy. They would just be so attracted to me that they'd come willingly. I'd lay them down and tell them I would take control. I would kiss them, taste them, their delicate flesh, smell their hair as I gently pushed it back. I'd kill them, either stabbing or strangling them. I watched the light escape their eyes.
Did you feel like you had power? Is that why you did this? For the sense of power?
It was the most satisfying thing in the world, knowing you have power, the power to take away someone's life.
Now, are you remorseful in any way?
No. The way they were dressed, the way they were looking at me, the way they walked in, they were asking for it. They wanted to be released, set free.
What did you do after you killed them?
I slept with them, continued to love my victims even after I killed them.
Your first victim, a 15-year-old girl. 15. November 25th, 1973, Washington. Her name was Catherine Mary Devine. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
By chance, your paths crossed that day. She was going for a hike, had done nothing to you, innocent, and you brutally murdered her.
Yes.
Why? How?
I don't know. It just came over me. I saw the girl, and I had this idea. To bring my fantasies to life, and before I knew it, I hit her over the head with a crowbar and was dragging her down the hill. I laid her down in the dump zone a mile away from where she was. I came back to her every day to read her stories. I made her look pretty like I knew she wanted me to. I put makeup on them.
And you continued to sleep with her and your other victims even after they were killed?
Until they decomposed completely. I kept revisiting their bodies and doing what I did.
Ted, after you committed your first murder, what was the emotional effect on you? What were the days like that after for you?
It was like coming out of some kind of trance or dream. It's like I didn't wake up until the next day and then realize what I had done.
Did you regret it?
It wasn't regret I felt. There were times where it came over me and I was affected by what happened, but only for a short while until I had the urge to do it again came over me. That itch I just had to scratch.
I tried to feed the addiction by watching the girls in their bedroom windows. Peeping, they called it. But at one point, I needed more, and I crossed the line.
That day, the next murder, was only a short while after that, January 31st, 1974. Joni Lenz, 18. She was in her own home reading in her bed before she went to sleep. You were outside watching her until that impulse came. Then you barged into her house and brutally raped her. They found her barely breathing, covered in blood, with the metal bed frame shoved inside her. Why?
I was aroused by this sense of sexual aggression. I often did things along these lines.
She was the only one of your victims to survive. All other 39 girls died. So many girls over such a short period of time. Was there ever one point where you were scared, nervous you were going to get caught?
You know, I really wasn't at first. I wasn't some guy who was seen as a weirdo. No one looked at me and thought, hey, there's something wrong with that guy. I wasn't the typical pervert or crazy homeless guy. I was just another guy. It wasn't until people started to recognize my card from police descriptions that I actually was caught.
And so you were taken in by the police, and despite credit card evidence linking you to the Taylor Mountains area where several of your murders happened, they were not able to conclusively tie you to the actual crimes. And a full investigation was launched. They had you for kidnapping one girl. You were even in jail, and you escaped twice, 2 times. And once you escaped, you raped and murdered 4 other women. Now here you are, years into your prison sentence, only weeks before execution, and when you look back on all of what you've done, the innocent 39 lives you've taken away, the families, the friends, the loved ones you left grieving, was it worth it?
When I think about everything, when I really look back on it, I believe they asked for it. They looked into my eyes and begged me to take them. Their families, their friends, their world needs to understand that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to die. But I lived a fulfilling life. I gave my life purpose, and I'm dying a man with no regrets.
So if you could put one word on your entire life, what would it be?
Perfect.
Ted Bundy proved the devil can be handsome. Just days before execution, Bundy spoke these famous final words. "We serial killers are your sons. We are your husbands. We are everywhere. And there will be more of your children dead tomorrow." That concludes this special segment of 60 Minutes. Thank you for watching.